claim the show. We got the money, motivation, what you aiming for? Eliminate financial literacy, wonder just like you giving me. Invest in the mobility of gaining more. Yeah, it's a Speak Like and Claim the show. It's a Speak Like and Claim the show. It's a Speak Like and Claim the show.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Speak Life and Claim It show. So thank you for joining us this evening, and welcome to the Speak Life and Claim It show. And tonight I bring to you a friend, a business partner, and he's also my coach. His wife, Coach Jackie, she couldn't be here with us tonight because they are both the founders of the Discover Your Options Academy. And Coach Jay is someone who I talk to quite often, and I really admire his determination. And I met him in the Abacus group. And I was a member of the Abacus group since day one when James Tompkins actually formed the Abacus. And I have seen members come in the Abacus, and many just stand out, you know, and I'm so very proud of them. You know, a lot of them have put in a lot of work. And the biggest takeaway with Coach Jay is many of us that were in the Abacus, we had our own niche and companies that we would research, and many of us had preferences. And Brother Jay was the go-to guy for all the things Apple. You know, if you wanted to know anything, I mean anything about the company Apple, Coach Jay was the one to give you all the information about this company. And not only that, what I also noticed, and I paid close attention to, was how he came in the Abacus in such a short period of time. And in not even, I don't believe it was even a matter of 6 months, he came up with his own option trading system and school called Discover Your Options. You know, and I'm not much of a talker. I'm more of an observer. And what I saw with Coach Jay was he and his wife, Coach Jackie, you know, their students were killing them in options trading. And I was seeing folks bringing in returns of investments like 35%, 50%, 100%, 500%. And when I saw like 1,000%, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute, I need to get in here and check the system out, you know, and get on board in the DYO school. And I must say, it is one of the best decisions that I could have ever made. And I learned here how to actually flip my money, basically. I really learned how to make my money grow. So, you know, before I get started, I want just folks.
You froze up, Sister Wanda.
To take friends, even your community. Is everything okay, Brother Jay?
Yeah, I can see you now. That froze up for a second.
Okay. And just share it with your family, share it with your friends, and even your community, and let them know about this awesome opportunity that you're going to hear and receive tonight. You know, so without further ado, I bring to you this evening the CEO of the Discover Your Options Academy, Coach Jay, is whom I call. I usually call him Brother Jay, but for tonight, I will refer to him as Coach Jay because I'm proud of my coach and both of my coaches. I always call them both Coach J and J, and I'm glad to be their students. So, Brother Jay, how are you this evening? How are you this evening, Coach?
I'm doing great, Sister Wanda, and let me thank you for inviting me onto the show. You know, I couldn't wait to be a part of this platform. You know, it's very hard to get, you know, the type of message that all of us are trying to get out there as far as, you know, educating people on generational wealth and different forms of investing. So, you know, a platform like what you have here is so important for all of us. You know, it's so important. And I just want to, before I even start, I just want to thank you very much for doing what you do and inviting the type of people that you invite onto this show, because I watch them all and they're very, very informative. So I just want to thank you for inviting me on the show so I can at least talk about what it is that Discover Your Options do.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Brother Jay, and you're welcome. And so, what I want to say, ask tonight is just tell us a little bit about your options trading background and how you got started trading option trading.
So actually, it was like you said, I came to the Bacchus maybe, I don't know, a year and a half, between a year and a half and 2 years ago. Completely brand new about investing and options trading, and I mean, all of it was a new world to me. And when I got there and I started learning and seeing being receptive to the things that the brother James Tompkins was teaching in there, it really was resonating to me, and I really dove into it because I understood that this was a piece of information that needed to be known, and that I in my 40 years that I knew nothing about. So I really really dove into it. And so I'm not sure if everyone understands what goes on in the boxes, but it pretty much starts from the beginning and goes all the way through every part of investing. Every aspect of investing, from angel investors, mutual funds, options. I mean, it really explains everything. And when I got to the portion on options, it was something that really resonated with me. Like, I really understood it. Everything started to come together when I got to the options portion. And options became, when I started learning the basics of options in the Bacchus, I was able to take it a step further, with myself and my wife, who's also Coach Jackie Johnson, who has a math background. I mean, she does forecasting and data analytics, and this stuff was like second nature to her, but it was just a different product. So once I introduced her to using her skill set with the stock market and options, that's when we started taking it to a whole nother level. And so what we do at Discover Your Options, we kind of, it looks like it says, Sister Wanda, you left the meeting. I'll just keep talking in case everyone can hear me. So, what we were able to do, we were able to start to notice patterns within the companies that we were looking at. So we started really manually looking at when companies had their biggest share gain percentage. So for instance, Apple was one of the first companies I ever ran an option on. I literally went through Yahoo Finance and literally went through the last 10 years of their daily share price movement. Every single day for 10 years, I recorded their movements, and I just wanted to see if there was a pattern of when they historically had a rise or a fall. And we started noticing patterns with these companies, with these blue chip companies that do the same thing year in and year out. And once we figured out that a lot of these blue chip companies had patterns, it was Coach Jackie Johnson who put that information into a system where all this stuff was done, all this data was processed automatically. And once we figured out their patterns, what we did was we started figuring out their projected share price. Now, again, Coach Jackie, this is what she did for a living. Was forecasting. So we took the information that she was already doing for a living and combined it with the information that I was learning from the Bacchus with these stocks and options, and we combined it, and that's how Discover Your Options was born. And Discover Your Options was extremely successful out of the gate. Out of the gate, it was, I think I don't think we lost a trade our first 6 months. I mean, it was that successful. And, we were doing it personally, and then we did it for like a year. And then that's when we actually did our own personal trades for a year. And that's when we started Discover Your Options. You know, we wanted to share what we had been doing with as many people as we could. We felt like people needed to know this technique of this one technique of investing. And what I wanted to say was, you know, what we do is one technique. You know, we don't sit here and really say that our technique is the very best or the only option trading technique that you should use. We just show you our technique that has been highly successful. And you know, we have quite a few students in the class in our academy, and it's been highly successful for them. So, you know, it's a system that really will get you some basic understanding. It'll get you some ground principles when it comes to option trading. You know, we try to look at Discover Your Options as your foundational pillars when it comes to option trading. And then you can build from that. It's like building a house. If you're building a house, we look at Discover Your Option as your concrete foundation. And then what you build from there, you know, the sky's the limit.
So you can hear me well, Brother Jay, right?
Yes, I can hear you fine. I can hear you and see you.
Okay, so to be continued, folks, we're sorry we had a bad connection. So the next interview question is, what I'm curious to know is, Brother Jay, who are your mentors and what did you learn from them? Because you're a genius. You're a genius in options trading.
Thank you, Sister Wanda. So, you know, I actually had a lot of mentors, and you know, the very first one was James Tompkins. You know, he was the one that pretty much lit the first fire that got me into, you know, without him there wouldn't be no option trading with me. So, you know, I do give him a lot of respect for that, and I try to always mention that's where it all started with me. And then from there, you know, I got with Brother Bose Agnew. You know, I don't know how familiar people are with him. You know, we call him Sherlock. You know, this guy took me from like he's like the equivalent of he took me from like high school to the league. You know, he took my investing, my market knowledge, my research ability to a whole nother level. Like, and it was a crash course. And really, and I'm still up under Bose Agnew's tutelage right now. You know, I still talk with him daily, and I'm still learning daily from him. And then also, you know, I've had a brother named Daniel Waifi. You know, I know a lot of people may not know him, but he's on my page. And this is the guy that actually showed me how to build Discover Your Options. You know, this is a brother that was like, this is what you need. Once I told him what I knew and what me and Coach Jackie was doing, he's the one that showed me how to actually build Discover Your Options and get it out to the masses. So, you know, without all three of them brothers, you know, James Tompkins, Bose Agnew, and Daniel Waifi, there would be no Discover Your Options. So I give them a lot of respect and praise.
Okay, and so we almost went out again, Brother Jay. Okay, so both, yeah, I'm so grateful to have gone through the abacus because Brother James is, I mean, he's also a beast in the option. I learned the basics, and then with Boz, oh my gosh, Boz is a genius, man.
Yeah.
Boz is really a genius.
Yeah, he, you know, what people don't understand is, you know, this is a brother that's, you know, he's a chemical engineer, you know, from Purdue. I had to make sure I say that or he'd be mad. What he does is research. I mean, that's what his niche is research.
Right.
And I mean, and when he researches, he's researching from public sources, but the way he's able to pull information and tie information into the option that we're going at is just beyond impressive. And, you know, that's what I learned from him, you know, and that took my option trading game to a whole nother level.
Yeah, this is true. The well, boss, sometimes I be up like 1 o'clock in the morning talking to boss on companies. I'm like, wow, this guy's a beast, man. So,
you know, and it's I'm sorry, so I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's important, the research portion of it, because that's a big part of what Discover Your Options does. You know, we build a narrative on an option. I mean, in the narrative that we build, you know, we try to go in and cover all the angles of the company on why we should be running either a call or a put on this company. So the research portion of this was just, that's one of the biggest portions of it. So, you know, that's why he's a big instrumental part of what, you know, Discover Your Options growth.
Yeah, the research is very important.
Very.
To know the narratives of company and give do the all the fundamentals. But Coach Jay, when did it dawn on you that you wanted to come up with this option trading and vision, and what compelled you to actually do this?
So, you know, Apple was the first company that I ran an option on. This was back in January 2017. This was my first real option, not paper trading anymore. I'm jumping out there to see if what I've learned really works. So in the process that I went through back then was literally go on Yahoo Finance and literally track Apple's daily share price movement over the last 10 years, every day. And what I was doing was trying to see if there was a pattern where they had a specific time or a specific month where they had their highest or lowest share price gain or fall. And what happened was we noticed it, we found it, and then Coach Jackie with, you know, she's a nerd, you know, I mean, she does all kind of data analytics. I mean, she does forecasting, you know, so she looked at it and was like, I can put that in a system that makes it easier for you, so you don't have to keep actually writing down and tracking and getting percentages for every single share price over a 10-year period. So Coach Jackie is the one that springboarded Discover Your Options into what it is today.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that like we tell people that the Envision system, you know, right now all we got to do is type in the ticker symbol and it gives us the expiration in the forecasted strike price. But that's not how it began. You know, that's not how it was in the beginning. It was really handwriting and doing basic math to get percentages for every month for over a 10-year span for each of these companies. So it was a ton of work. It really was a ton of work, but it did pay off because, I mean, we've been way more successful than we could have ever imagined. I have to say that at no time did we ever feel like we would ever be this successful and this accurate with it. So, you know, once we got to about, I believe it was like October, we was like, we got to share this with people. We can't just keep this to ourselves. I mean, because we literally took, this is something that a lot of people don't know. We started our personal account with $300. $300. No, excuse me, $500. $500. And what we did, we ultimately, in a 2-month span, we ultimately end up putting in another $2,500, you know, because we was trying to jump into other companies, get some other contracts. So $3,000 was the max that we put in since February of 2017. We haven't put in any more money since then. And we ran that $3,000 all the way up to like 20 in
Wow.
6 months. In 6 months. I mean, that's, for us, you know, I don't know what everybody else's finances are like, but for us to run $3,000 into $20,000 in 6 months was life-changing. It was completely life-changing.
Wow.
You know, and that's what compelled us to really start the Discover Your Options platform, because it was like, we got to share this with people. I mean, we knew we couldn't be the only ones out here that could use this type of information to be able to create more capital, you know, to be able to invest in other things. And the thing that's so great about it is it doesn't take a lot of money. That's the one beauty that we feel like our system provides. You know, it's not something where you got to come in with $5,000 or you have to come in with $10,000. You literally can come into this with $500, learn the techniques, and be successful.
Wow.
Oh, I just heard you.
You can hear me now? Okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I was looking at one of the videos, how you broke down this one particular metric. And it was the historical prices. And I was sitting there looking at it, and I was like, wow, I said, this guy's a genius. And then when I seen the other video with the Envision, I was like, wow, these folks, they both of them, but not just one genius in the family, but two. Right. We definitely work off of each other. You know, we come from two different, you know what it is, we come from two different ideologies. We look at things two different ways, but it together is like a perfect match. You know, it's like a perfect match the way we approach this stuff. And yeah, you know, it's amazing. You know, this is the thing I tell people is, you know, there's for everybody that sees this recording, I want them to know this. There's 50 people in the Discover Your Options Academy. 50 people. And the thing is probably 75% of the people that are in Discover Your Options, they are the people watching this video, you know them. You know them. You know who they are. You talk to these people. They're Facebook friends of yours. Not one person has said anything bad about Discover Your Options that's come to Discover Your Options. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that, you know, we like to hang our hat on, because we're going to get your money back, and you're going to leave here with information that you can have for a lifetime. Information that you can teach your children, you know, information that actually can be passed down generation to, because that's how this type of information is passed down through other communities. It's passed down throughout the family from generation to generation, because they don't teach us this in school. They don't teach us in elementary school. They don't teach it in high school. They don't teach it in college. You know, they don't teach this. So that's something you can pass down to your family. And when I tell people that you can do this, we're serious, because we have a 12 and 13-year-old. My 13-year-old son, he's running options. He's running options. We have a master's student in the class. Her son, shout out to Kristen. I mean, he's 11. He's 11 years old, and he's running options based off of the technique. So this is something that everybody can do, everybody can capitalize on. Right, this is true. You know, and like being financial literate is not something that we were taught, you know, as young. But now this new generation, a lot of them and the parents are teaching their children. I remember, Brother Jay, I used to see you send some photos of your son sitting at night studying, you know, and this is what we have to do with our youth, you know, because if we don't, this is why I named my book The Third Gen Club, the Third Gen Investment Club, because it's always that third generation that'll mess up your money. Okay, Brother Jay. Yeah, I read a post today, you know, and if I'm not mistaken, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but this was a quote that it looks like it came from, it was written by the book from Melvin Van Peebles Sr., and the title was The Bold Money. And the post read something to the extent, and I'll quote, that conventional wisdom has it that you need at least a tiny fortune to deal in the market, and say like 100,000 in the bank and at least 40,000 liquid to play with before you should even consider getting into the option games, right? Right. But then he says, and then the author says, conventional wisdom Option wise implies that the table stakes are so high that the little guy cannot possibly play the game, you know, and the author continues to say, he says, but that's a lie. And he says, because there is a way to play the option game without having a fortune. And it's a way that they don't tell you, okay? And a way to play in which you're restricted capital instead of causing you to lose any advantages, and can actually be a plus for you. So, Coach Jay, I'm sure you can, and please elaborate on this for me and to our audience, because I believe that you can make this real clear, and folks need to know this, that you don't have, you don't have to have a lot of money to get in the game.
Right. Yes. And you know, when I saw that quote in that book, that's why I had to put it on my page, because it was just, you know, it resonated to me so much, because that's kind of the whole principles of Discover Your Options. We try to make everything, we try to remove the smoke screens and make things easy. And so what he's saying right there is, you know, they try to make investing in options sound confusing. They have a lot of technical terms that can shoot over a lot of our heads. You know, we've heard all the stories of people that lost life savings, which I'm sure probably didn't happen. They weren't with Discover Your Options, but I'm sure it happened. You know, so what the quote is saying is, with options, you could come in with a little bit of money and leverage an underlying asset that you probably wouldn't be able to afford otherwise. So with options, you're controlling 100 shares of a publicly traded company. So you look at a company like Apple, yeah, I believe it's trading somewhere around 180, 180, 70, 80 bucks. I haven't looked. I mean, to have 100 shares of that, you're talking about $17,000. You know, the average person just doesn't have $17,000 to control that asset. But with options, you could come in and run an option and control those 100 shares for like $200 to $300, and then turn around and and potentially get you anywhere from 30 to 1,000% return. You know, I mean, these are real numbers. You know, these are real numbers. I mean, everybody's seen it. You know, we don't even have to. That's a conversation we don't even have to have no more, because everybody's seen the return. They've seen the return. We've been posting them for over a year. The returns are real. Those are real E-Trade and TG Ameritrade and Fidelity tickets. You know, so, and these are people capturing these gains with a small amount of money. You know, we just have to be taught that this avenue, this one avenue, is out there.
Yeah.
And you know, and that's you know, we had cut out last time when I was saying that, but I really want to make it clear that Discover Your Options is just one avenue for investing in asset building. There are plenty of other investments out there. There are plenty of other option trading programs out there, and I'm sure that those programs are successful as well. You know, we try to support every form of investing platforms that are out there. You know, just recently we've introduced very sharp brother, a mastermind when it comes to not only cryptocurrency. Don't get it wrong, he's more than cryptocurrency. He started in stocks himself, and now he's a master at the cryptocurrency. You know, we've joined platforms because we're trying to give everybody options. Discover Your Options, we're trying to give you options. You know, however we can help you learn to invest, however we can help put money in your pocket right now. And when I say right now, I mean, we're trying to put money, the class is only 8 weeks long. So we're trying to put money in your pocket immediately. You know, we're not a program where you're going to come here and be with us for a year and you haven't made any money. That doesn't happen with us. So that's the importance of Discover Your Options. We're really trying to provide options for everyone, you know, so everyone can learn to invest. It doesn't take a lot of money to invest, and that's just a real important thing for everyone to know.
Yeah, in the DY Academy, and my daughter and my assistant, she put all the links to the boot camp, to you know, in the DYO Discover Your Options Academy. There are several components to this academy. There's the 8-week boot camp, there's the master class, and now a new addition to the DYO platform is a cryptocurrency course. Right. You know, and my daughter, she actually put all those links in. But I want to congratulate both you and Jamar James, you know, and I believe this is an awesome partnership that the both of you have. You see, I started out with DYO on November 4th, and I enrolled in the 8-week boot camp. In this short amount of time, in just 8 weeks, several things occurred. You know, one, I was able to receive my return for the classes based on my plays. And in fact, my first play was a put option trade, you know, and most folks don't start with put, they start with calls.
Right,
you know? Right. And I started with a put, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was General Electric, GE.
It was.
Yeah, and then what occurred is that I was also, as an affiliate, because the boot camp, the 8-week boot camp, in fact, all of them have an affiliate program. Right. You know, so that also afforded me the opportunity, you know, to bring students in and receive what, $200 per student.
Right.
You know, right. So I mean, where are you going to get this anywhere, right? And I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this option trade for as long as I live, because it was my first return on investment. And I could not believe it. I was so shocked that I thought that the brokers at TD Ameritrade made a mistake. And in the class, Jay will often speak about watching out for major events, especially the holidays with companies and their products. Well, Coach Jay mentioned that around Christmas, batteries are sold, especially with Energize, the ENR. So being new to all this, I followed him. I followed him on this play. You know, trying to be disciplined. I followed him on this play, and I went and purchased a call contract at just $68. $68 on December 12th. I never forget. And by January 28th, that beauty went up to 800 return, and I cashed that out. Now, you know, I don't know about y'all, but I ain't never in my entire life received no return on an investment like this in just a matter of not even 30 days of 800%. You know, right. So these are some of my advantages of learning how to trade options. Coach Jay, can you mention any other advantage that, you know, I may have left out?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of advantages when you come to DYO, because not only will you learn these basic techniques that you can keep with you, but there's a private Facebook group that has every single member that's inside of there, where you're never going to be alone in the journey. Mm-hmm. There's always somebody going to be there to answer a question. There's always going to be someone in there that's talking about a potential option trade. There's always going to be someone there to help you break down a company. And I mean, because I'm not always right. I'll put a company out there. Somebody in the group is going to be like, I don't like that, you know. But that's the beauty of the community, is we're going to find the best trade you can get into. And then outside of that, you know, our mastery students, they stay apart. Pretty much everybody that's joined, they discover your options, even though it's an 8-week course. I don't think anybody's left. Like, nope. Nobody's left. Nobody's left the class. I mean, their 8 weeks has been over, been over for months, and they're still, you know, nobody's left the class. Everybody stayed. So, you know, then, you know, and this isn't something where you just go and you look at videos for, you know, and good luck to you. You talk to me personally or Coach Jackie personally on a conference call every week. We have weekly one-on-one calls where you talk to us personally. Mm-hmm. And then we do weekly group calls where everybody from the academy that can make it, is on.
Yes.
So, you know, this is something that you will never be by yourself.
Yep.
It's not like you're going to try to have to figure this stuff out on your own. You know, we got you. You're going to win. And let me say this, for those watching, excuse the light. You know, I just came from another meeting, so I am taking this call from my truck. So just in case they see the little dome light on inside of my truck.
Okay. And you know, this is true what you say, Brother Jay. I've sat in other option classes, and you know, and I left out of there still not knowing like what I was taught. You know, and not to take away from the teachers, you know, but I don't think that they're aware that everybody's learning style is different, right?
Right.
And when I say that I was able to pick that up and Discover Your Options in less than a month, you know, and make the plays and the returns on investments that I made, I'm like, wow, that was awesome. It was awesome. And the help is there. And I'm a graduate, and we have a graduate group, and we still kick it with.
You're right. Right.
Every Sunday, you know, on plays and stuff, you know. So you're not ever alone. That's
why we created the graduates page, because after the first group graduated, we were literally getting calls like, there's no way you're kicking us out of the group, right? You know, they were like, you're not kicking us out. You know, there's no way we're done. So I was like, you know what? There's no reason for you to be done. So we started the graduates page. So now everyone stays with us, you know. So it's a beautiful community. Like I say, these are people that pretty much everyone knows. So it's not like you know, these are random testimonials that you don't even know who these people are. You know, I mean, these are real people that we all know that are actually winning money, actually taking a little bit of money and slowly turning it into respectable money. We actually have students that have left our program, went to other option programs, and came back and was like, I lost money over there. Coach Jay, can you help me? Yeah. You know, can you help me? Look at my portfolio. Can you help me out? You know, and that's not to slam any other option program. I'm just saying, I know this, what we're doing at Discover Your Options, we know it works. Right. It works. You know, it does work, and you're going to, you know, there's not too many programs out there where they're going to pretty much guarantee you're going to make your money back. There's just not too many programs out there that'll do that. Yeah. We're one of the few programs. I mean, there's one thing I want to say. You know, we talk about the class fees. You know, we're one of the few programs where we're not even tripping on the class fees. You know, we worked with numerous people in the class to make sure. We just want you to come in and get the information. And I tell people, you could come to us with $250. The class is $9.99. I tell people, you can come with $250. We'll put you in the class, and if I can't help you make your money back, then you don't have to pay me. Yeah. You don't have to pay me. It's that simple. If I can't put $1,000 in your pocket, there's no reason for you to pay me. Mm-hmm. There's no reason for you to pay me. So it's one of those things. It's a beautiful program. It's growing. We actually have a couple other platforms that we're going to be introducing to the Discover Your Options platform, you know, and these other platforms that come, they're not, you know, we're not taking over their platforms. They're just bringing their platform to our platform to help give people more options, more investment options. Right.
You know, a lot of times I speak to folks, what would you say are the disadvantages of using options? Because one that I have experienced currently with the market being bearish, but we at Discover Your Options, we don't worry about this. You know, so can you let the audience know why that is the case? You know, whether bearish or bullish, we still going to eat.
So that's exactly right. So it doesn't matter with options. It doesn't matter if the market's going up. Doesn't matter if it's going down. You know, we position ourselves to be able to capitalize regardless to what the market's doing. So, I mean, prime example, like Sister Wanda said with GE was in some trouble. They've been in some trouble for a while. So, I mean, we've been capitalizing off of their misfortune for almost a year. And then I'm pretty sure everyone, you know, has heard about the news with Facebook, you know, with the leak with the Cambridge Analytical company, you know, where they leaked the information. You know, their share prices have been tumbling for a couple days now. You know, we position ourselves where we can capitalize off of that. You know, the news with Trump and these tariffs, you know, the tariffs that he's slapping on China. You know, just that news had the market in a whole bearish state today. You know, and if you know what you're doing, if you understand the principles of discover your options, you can capitalize off of that stuff. We really don't care what the market is doing. We just want to make sure we're in position to capitalize on it. So if it's going up, if it's bullish, we go ride the wave up. If it's bearish, we go ride that wave too. You know, we go ride the wave. So you're going to make your money. So, you know, it's you know, I tell people the only thing that I tell people that can get you in trouble with options. So I'm gonna take my glasses off when I say this too, because I want people to understand this. This is the one thing that can get you in trouble with options. And that's the greed monster. You'll make so much money over here that you'll start getting greedy. you'll start getting greedy and start abandoning the principles. And you know, that's our problem. Our problem is people over here making too much money and they're getting greedy. That's the problem, you know. So
you know, that's funny you mentioned that, because that was one of my questions, right? Because I know I could definitely have experience. I definitely have experience, you know, and I try to keep this up front because you and Coach Jackie know that I have gone on quite a few what I call creative greed adventures.
Right.
You know, like trying to do my own swing trades and shortening contracts when I was taught about time horizons and expiration dates. And, you know, this is where I went wrong, not following what I was taught. And, you know, it's basically to watch out for the greed monster. You got to watch out for that greed monster. So, Brother Jay, what are two of the most common mistakes you see among option traders?
I think the most common mistake I see amongst option traders is their lack of due diligence. You know, this is something I see a lot. A lot of traders aren't doing their due diligence. They're just jumping in based off of what someone else said. You know, they're jumping in off of information that some other trader that might not have good information then told them. You know, the most important thing you can do is learn for yourself. That's the most important thing you can do, because if you learn it for yourself, then can't nobody tell you wrong. Can't nobody steer you wrong once you learn it for yourself. So that's one of the biggest things I see from traders is they don't want to do the due diligence. They just want the answer.
Yeah. And finally, if you could give some key advice for aspiring traders out there, what would that be, Brother Jay?
You know, the best thing I can tell an aspiring trader, a new trader, even an experienced trader that's trying to get better is due diligence, research, that's going to save you. I mean, that's going to save you. Definitely have a plan, have an exit strategy. You've got to have a plan with this stuff. You can't just willy-nilly your way through option trading. You've got to understand that there's a technique here, a proven technique. So if you follow it, you'll win. That's the whole key. That's why I tell people, you follow the techniques, you'll win. So do your due diligence, research the companies you're running an option trade on, and then make sure you have an exit strategy. Because this is why you should have an exit strategy. If you get the 50% gain and you don't have an exit strategy, you're just sitting in there wondering how long I'm gonna sit in this company. You know, but if you have an exit strategy, you know exactly what you're going to do. You've got to have an exit strategy. So, you know, that's important for us.
Yeah. And well, in the DYO Academy, there are several components this academy. There's the 8-week boot camp. There's the master class, and now the new edition of the DYO platform, which is cryptocurrency. You know, Brother Jay, can you inform the audience, because my assistant, she put all those links up in there. But can you just inform them one more time? You know, and if folks are interested, just please click the link. You know, they're there, or Brother Jay, you can inform them of how they can reach out to you.
So we're definitely bringing the cryptocurrency education to the DYO platform. This course is being taught by Jamar James himself. It is not being taught by me. Jamar James is way more knowledgeable about cryptocurrency than I am. You can click on his link and you'll see a ton of information. You'll see what he do. You can reach him at the Discover Your Options, Discover Your Options, discoveryouroptions.com, and you'll get there and you'll actually see all of the courses. You can click on the course. You can sign up right there. You can reach out to me or Coach Jackie individually. You can reach out to Jamar James himself and sign up for the course. Those that are interested in cryptocurrency, even experienced cryptocurrency people, I'm going to tell you right now, however experienced you think you are with cryptocurrency, Jamar James is going to take you to a whole new level, because they're over there day trading they're day trading altcoins. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they've taken the crypto world to a whole new level. I mean, they're well past the buy and hold and the ICO. They're past that. That's for him, that's the basics. You know what I'm saying? They're over there trading altcoins daily, capturing $100 to $300 a day, trading altcoins. That's amazing. That's amazing. So definitely get with them. If you're trying to get into cryptocurrency, definitely get with them.
Well, don't get no better than that, folks. You know, the links are there. If you want to sign up, Brother Jay, thanks for taking the time to share how you got started and what you recommend for improving as a trader, and sharing this awesome opportunity with each and every one of us. And folks, that even if you don't have a clue, this DYO school, the coaches, they're there to guide you every step of the way. And I'm gonna tell you, and when they say every step of the way, they're there to guide you. You know, so in closing, I would like to say for y'all to take action now. You know, click the link and sign up today. You know, remember, as I always stated, since Sophie the robot has gotten citizenship in Saudi Arabia, and the plan is basically to take away the jobs and replace them with artificial intelligence robots. You know, and this is what you're actually seeing today. You know, a lot of retail stores closing down and folks being laid off. You know, but many of us, we knew this long before they even put this information out to the media. You know, the media is only getting it now. And this is because when you get involved in the stock market, whether fundamentals or the technicals, this is still require researching of companies. You know, and this is the beauty of it, that not only do you learn how to grow your money, but you also have firsthand information on what's trending here in this economy and where the economy is even headed. You know, because remember, I always say it's the small businesses that actually run this economy. You know, so I bring forth these experts, you know, and many I vouch for because they are my coaches. You know, some of my peers, some are partners in the stock market industry, and even folks that I follow, and I really admire and appreciate their work and the value that they offer to the many. So I want to say to everyone, take action today. Invest in yourself, you know, by creating wealth for your family, for your children, for the next generations to come. Okay, and speak life into your finances and claim wealth building. Claim wealth building. Don't people are depressed because that job that you have that maybe lost, it wasn't yours in the first place. You know, it no longer exists, but it wasn't yours in the first place. You know, so remember that God has something greater, and the universe always conspires. It always conspires for you, but you must trust and believe that you deserve to have it because it's yours. So you start to speak life into it, you know. And so I want to thank you again, Brother Jay. I want to thank you for joining us on this live broadcast. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being with us this evening. And may you all have a pleasant night. And thank you for joining us.
Claim It show.
Bye, Green.
For tuning in to this podcast. It's time to go. Wonderful. Take it away. It's a Speak Life and Claim the show. It's a Speak Life and Claim the show.